all out. The Bani say na corner any fouls be ye juma papa because any aya etie no sa na etie be ye be wam na afi ye de nsem no atumi e de abro na ohun de ekone de eba. Yes, sports arena. Bomodi an Facebook. Uko Facebook DJ Kwaku Slim. DJ Kwaku Slim on Facebook. Mudu ano bomodi ano wa share show no man for the internet. Obeti team of experts. Biade na dwenche about Champions League. How who know na yebe cookie us e the amount. Yebe cookie us papa bi e the amount na also wetwa edi na bibia so etumi akon kan e ho no mandra. Vincent bet ne boy. No Vincent bet ne boy me too bed builder no o share bubuko efren Galatasaray first half o mubo 0-0 ka go ba mu first half kanwa ka ifaska e wo two matches no nti angoye me say but makacho say emiensa ti say utwa yemiensa nyina be separately obviously ubedi tenra Vincent de no etumi bo ma bibia etumi koye matches etumi faska sa enete e wo honom Shannon so na so be faska e no be faska na ye be fa Champions League and so e be ba Champions League e be ba e wo na bibia so no etumi akoye e wo ho tinie pa ko YouTube uko YouTube MYBET.AFRICA TV YouTube uko YouTube sisi MYBET.AFRICA TV eho na show no etwagu honom a enso betumi anya bi na bebia nso no etumi akoye wo honom yes etwagu de afei uko yen social media handles na uko Twitter obehu ye ho so na uko TikTok yes TikTok ni so Sports Arena GH and uko Telegram so ena also no etie Sports Arena Telegram Sports Arena Telegram bomodia na join yen na afi bibia nso no entumi enkoye yeguso a hwe ne mu amanfo dodo na join mon join na afi mkunimdie eba na ba ma yenyina bibia nso no etumi akoye na Barcelona na se omuhia win na se omuhia win na omotumi akoda league table no top after season starting no mo bie gab no Real Madrid they were two mo different Atletico Madrid at some point be two mo and Real Madrid be take over Real Madrid so ya hwan akọ ma Espanyol ahye no saso na oni Mosasuna and so akobo draw ho no ma tese otimi say ama Barcelona so no atumi bounce back o abeda league table ne top na sabe na manfo ka say basa on betuma je league na end game no omo ne rival Kano a lot of controversial decisions utimi koso controversial decisions utimi say Vallecano for na check Kano na referee ne je offside na no na manfo be pray complaining wo hono me be ko ne ewura sansem mu na ya hwe na fe ye di hu komo me din di listo team no ha say Vincent wa so na Benedict wa mamini kan enje omadwe nkyere na afi mbi se o makwaba na ye nhwe ndra Barcelona so etumi edi kunim na ohwe game ne mu ye den pa abuta fa mama makwaba
listo
bia kama de
bia kama
Champions League 9 na enije ne excitement no was so enije da we are hoping say and no investors no more 4 months as no. But one thing about Sports Arena, especially on Champions League days, is that you bought 3/3 they be able.
Yeah.
Especially on Champions League night.
Yeah.
So and then no but say the nigga say it him say you have a 5 times 3 plus and then so I mean I'm more deal on my bet ni na no load the wallet no more because and then no say no the one we are hoping say and training na best him. That is the Champions League. I mean statistics and actually say yeah they are a team for national for ina.
Right. Benedict yanhwe na yanko MYBET education im kakra.
Yes, yeah. So unim say edu Champions League say they are MYBET for so no more they are in the highest odds market. It's up a biggest odds Champions League. MYBET.AFRICA and our beko. I think omope ena the whole Ghana se upe bet builder omoma aka bonus omoma cash out partial cash out bibia kwan bia befa so out be fiscal nti so hu odds e hye show yi so a every time bia no odds ni mu games keto abi ba odds ni mu edu ye because of my bet for biggest odds on the my air market ni so nti ene so obi twa better enko bibia MYBET.AFRICA penal betwa wo almost ama omo aka bonus ni nso se fra oye selections na no mu increase bonus no mama se na nso sika ebetimi akosua mu afisika during the game ni nso no partial cash out e wo ho ma nti as game ni course no hwe na se na anyama akono in favor wa omoma options e jiska ni bi na jai de aka no na enye den game no ento aso anase obetima je osike na de besi wo game no mbia emfa ho eno na MYBET today ma Champions League games ni ndoso 4 games pe no mo bo ene to obi ho be ka se 4 games there me pay odd of 10 odd of 20 odd of 50 mint minya but eno nti na MYBET ewo aye bet builder amount nti we bet builder no with 4 games o mo bo ene no obetimi nya selections of up to 40 ewo 4 games now bonti per each game no betimi nya at least 10 options I betimi pick from into we to 10 options no nya 5 kra na about 20 different options ebe ma odds ni mo ayedu amu etima fiscal MYBET into MYBET Champions League bra na betwa bet wo mo na be fiscal ewo mo platform
in terms of registration also ma yehu registration also sene eko
yes so we registration there MYBET for registration is very simple very simple so if you're registration now just 3 steps now they register on my platform ehun hia nyama bebre ade a ohia the first option and ade obedi kan ko www.mybet.africa uko MYBET.AFRICA top right corner obi hu icon bi o ha ehun green umia so obi hu registration umia so a the next thing mobile money number into mobile money number ne she ho the next step we bisa username ye unique name a wo pese wo use it's normal platform so into bit my wudi any numbers be na aye unique for one kwa obo enu we the next one password mostly am to for say first letter na capital numbers in some brim ubet me this any symbol we so account into uba no verify or password no of the best send verification code with verification code na after they also register MYBET.AFRICA into free okono uko the same processor obeden ubetimi add usika to platform so na selections ebe men no unso etima fiscal senior Vincent kan Champions League there yetimi fiscal papa anti ene wutie a wo ba bedu baby power betima fiscal any in-depth analysis e Champions League ni
right Endra Barcelona boy match out me no more than pa now almost to me abeda the late table though the points near the same or show the trajectory Real Madrid name Atletico Madrid asaka ena oya no my hope kakra we tiri so on Virginia de but it appears omuntu menye what you say so mutifia and then ka fun na nia bia wo so mo share de kono omukodi red card into omo de yem form ntunche now no with Madrid sene omobo na isi ko any sene Barcelona can we say now Barcelona there's been that change a chance of meeting me akwa because now games na kaka krebi and I wish now they've been the experienced players are back now they have a goalkeeper waje a lot of trophies with Juventus very experienced Jules Koundé experience now Yaba Aradu experienced player at the time Omoji first under Xavi he was around Frankie de Jong so then Abba in one of my boy can you say now with that inclusion of the experience now from the start of the season can you say Barcelona will go on and win the league or Madrid the two Madrid clubs able to me overtake you?
I think with Barcelona team senior Oboso experience Arojo player they were missing him from the start of the season but Osha I don't think Barcelona can win this year's La Liga. I didn't make us say Barcelona anytime who say they go for it to win the La Liga and mostly they go out of the European competition in term then they concentrate on the league more and you could see with that they get to get the solid grounds to play the league very well. But see, I no more the Champions League. We should be being so more in the Champions League group phase, no more that second. So they are looking at trying to at least win the Champions League, because over 8 to 9 years they've not even had a chance to win the Champions League. So they are looking at bringing that glory back into their concentration this season. Ubisa Hansi Flick, any Barcelona we are, the Champions League is one of the things they are looking at getting the chance to win than the league or more, because the Champions League, one, will give them more money to solve their problems. Two, a big mom that exposure no here to attract more players into their club. But so the league and this season about because you could see from the first to the third position, just a 1 point gap. Real Madrid and Barcelona were the same point. Atletico just a point behind these two clubs. Now this season Boma Bono Atletico abo more draws seeing the remaining two, that is the Barcelona and Real Madrid. But Atletico will lose with less matches as him. Daniel this year and come on make we say if you are to win a league, you need to limit the games I'll be losing within a season. Instead, you about 24 no lose 2. Meaning say at the end of the season, at least you wouldn't lose more than 10 games. You say 14 games to the end of the season. And this season, everything will depend on the performance of these three clubs in the Champions League. Because Omuko minimum in the Champions League, they will be forced to now rotate a lot of players in the league games. A bit me at home. So I'm thinking Barcelona this season now dream a war the Champions League, so because that is where the exposure is, that is where the money is, that is where a bit more financially they can get stable for next season. Because if they want to keep on competing, they need to add in more players. In himself player bit Lewandowski, they need to add in a young striker bit me and that steady Lewandowski to some extent. Say they could have him coming too. That is one thing they are looking at. So we should draw a game against Rayo a team this season no picky form ye pa. Even though say we from the first to the 10th uyi Mayoka omno me team lose more, that is 7. Maka is 5-3 5-3-2. But one thing I many ajo this season say they go into games, they don't score much, but they don't allow you to also score them much. Into almost 27 goals, I consider 25. So meaning say we share 2 plus goals. We about 24 to 27. So average at least a goal per game. And now we consider 25, meaning so we average at least a goal per game. And that is one thing as I hope to mirror the European sporter as a team as all share. So in draw game no be a game, no be any goals because Rayo in the league in every time be no goal you be share. Senior me so average per goal no. Every time you be share go bandro abasa limit you to not scoring a goal. And Andra almost making sure Sabasa limitium to not scoring a goal. Almost consider more than a goal that they do in each game. So in Dran, I think Mebo Mabaso, but I think there were a lot of controversy after the game about the goal now Yaji as offside and a whole lot of things. Now you said the Real Madrid Atletico fans, even other La Liga faithfuls, Nebeka so like referee favor Barcelona, but to me on that night whatever happened offside, because defender we strike and no the offside position in UEFA and FIFA rules no player no offside position those are born and corner, but in year Barcelona born call the other player no, not Barcelona player no was being distracted from getting closer to the Rayo player no. And as soon as you do that no, you call yourself in for an offside. No,
the direction of the Barca player
wasn't
to the ball. He was going to occupy a space.
And now
he wasn't going to where the ball is.
Right, so Rayo striker no interfere now. You distract him from getting into that particular space. So Ujidi said he'll get into that space and he can't influence the goaler. You allow him to get into the space. And one thing I mostly see who I say about set piece maybe team no set piece the player back team ko gina an offside position gina. The only thing says a ball on the bar, he moves himself away from the action of play, making sure say ne hu kan any other player to distract the chance of them scoring.
Is it the player or the ball?
And I'm say the player ni jina wa nipa no be receive ball no baby no jina he is not offside. Say Indra so share baby no jina no onye offside here because he didn't get directly contact with the ball.
I think person remember kakra the offside the entire man ball ni anye offside ni say you see Martinez Barca defender Inigo Martinez was attacking a player now OJ ball. Player no OJ ball the no nyanya offside.
Yes.
But player now no that offside position no. Or no interfere Inigo Martinez from intercepting and so okwa tackle ball. So it means
there be say can say there be he wasn't going to where the ball is.
He was
because ball no player no jina middle of the Barcelona post.
Yes.
And a ball on the right side, and into movement must go here. No, there is no because one into Usha replay ni bima. He wasn't closer to who had the ball. Even before a player hit the ball, Inigo got closer and sent a player an elbow ball.
Debut. No, with Indigo Mpono, he was trying to.
Till the guy was waiting. Say a ball. Most times omo muja offside win his weight is said you know ajebo ne be cross it cross ball no aye simple tapping
the
difference is that the onoje ball what he did was that Odeba on the left so and on the left near then a boy player now Inigo Martinez movement was no he was not supposed to go vertical. He was supposed to go diagonal. Yes, going to where the ball is.
Interpretation in say if player now no offside, why interfere in friends Martinez movement? Martinez could have tackled.
There be no.
That is the because why offer you don't interfere with player because when the player play the ball, who check it. Vana omuchaba from a chasing player never born Inigo stretching in aya omu check the distance between Martinez and anybody be a player never.
It wasn't close.
No, it was close.
It wasn't close.
Video it was close. So if player now or off no and stop it and I were interfering Martinez movement it means that ball no nke ebian ko betima attack one ko betimi am a player no class and so afia ba ball na say no. So the player
because there was a player I think there we need yet to me mbo video ni ewa there was a player ono koma ye twen no it wasn't Indigo.
No but baby
there was a player there was a player ono ko tackle player no nya ball and on the left ne twen no ball say. So and the guy wasn't even close. The other outside wasn't close. Indigo and the guy on Upana not ne chikra na sache Indigo. Indigo no fi ne chiba no. And the see I think Barcelona.
I'm watching the video now. Guy no
Barcelona was lucky.
Playing onside.
He didn't
first touch at the ball no kwechiro. See. Watch the video. The first touch now o control ball dem video number and the ball no kwa actually so any say player no interfere can Inigo Martinez would have even tackled the player. What you say the first touch no whether me say meet him doing that one the first touch no the ball no kwa actually and it would have even allowed Martinez to clear the ball. So interpretation for VAR there it was clear into obeshe video now of the first touch no the ball no kwa actually. And from there, most player no, and still not all Inigo Martinez. Even if was like there, and can I bet me I can born no.
Ha! I rather I didn't mean yes to me yadi
so far say una
see the guy was nechi no munina it was clear outside the guy ono npo de ojo so ma se ebo no the two pass ni kwa he was in ono kwa tapin and na fi na chibe so na
offside ni nye
he didn't even move to the direction of the ball.
Yes.
Ono ni for the left side of
the picture offside ni nye say bia ball na ko na player ni gina we mu the onu interfere
ono mo aso nechi no
the video because boy no
video dey in motion because
watch the second picture.
What I'm watching here
watch the second picture
gives you way direct way he was moving out who say ball now so much no 10 in your corner.
But all say
now we relate.
Player no first touch and the ball no actually.
Yes.
So time the ball no actually there were two Barcelona players and commitment intercepting ball. The one behind the player no way ball. Any Martinez equal two
Martinez no kwa tackle no. Ono na fa player no jump outside. We find the left side and the right side.
But he was playing for the ball.
Because ball no for ball now. Was so fat player on the right side.
The Ofani so cause Ofani left side meaning Ofani chi say Ofani say o.
Debi show video ni bi many.
Ofani me see.
Ma show video. Maybe you appreciate. Generation video ni.
Me see ma show video no. Ofani say.
It was about the angles.
So far say.
Watch this video.
Who now what coach now the outside position.
Em watch player no crowd to walk. In normal sense was a foul against Barcelona player.
Watch player at all.
Indigo Martinez.
Watch player there.
Also player nensa.
Left player there.
Or the nensa to nechi.
No, player ni mum na so illegal.
They do answer the move.
But why off? So you don't even have
to interfere.
That is the rules.
He wasn't interfering. He was waiting for a pass. he was waiting or trying. He was waiting for a pass or no more concentrating on the ball. And I no be pim on the chi. It was a bad decision. But from the videos I've very bad decision from the referee and score. There is a reason why everybody or even all the big accounts almost follow winning now complaining about it. Was a clean goal.
No, it wasn't.
It was a clean goal. So
game now. I think Barcelona team no. Yeah, bebo shares ni abaso because on making sure say team my friend Rayo ain't me nya at least a goal to even interfere in them getting to the top spot position, which I think La Liga no this season has started and we've seen these three teams no leading the table once a while. Madrid akwakoda ho, Atletico akwakoda ho, Barcelona beda ho, and Sana say only opportunity asamba beda ho biom. I think we'll still see changes. Because a 1 point gap between these clubs, is something that makes the league exciting. Ye name him say the league will go down to the last few games, maybe the last 3-4 games. Nini na send a kind to depend on the Champions League, their performance in the Champions League, and also the clubs who will share in the Champions League. Because say uko share a bigger club in the Champions League, maybe the Liverpools in the Champions League. Now on Saturday, who share team beat say Leganes or Sasuna Getafe moa, omobe how, ombe push you for a draw. And no nebeti me amu lose the league title, but I think yesterday I did an case Barcelona getting the penalty and scoring from it. After that, some expected say they should add at least a second goal to secure the game because Rayo a team bia or tie play so bet me actually go, but they couldn't do that. 3 points is very important, especially to win the league title. My Galatasaray game, and I think team I friend Galatasaray.
Well, no, yeah, we name Champions League. Yeah. Vincent.
Yeah, I think that was a great victory for Barcelona because Mekache was say Ocean weekend games now. After Madrid in your red card, no, or drop your points. Some of us were looking that at least Atletico Madrid beat might take the opportunity. No, now comes with him their call top. But then I mentioned say a game was a gamer. It beat my heading, knowing that Barcelona say Madrid. Any Atletico Madrid for a drop a point no, and if they win this game they are going on top. Rayo Vallecano was going to give them a tough game, and it was obvious that they know almost brave because the chances almost say no, and it was quite unfortunate that he took a goal from Robert Lewandowski from the spots. I mean that was a silly mistake. Midfield as in holding Barcelona player in the box, knowing that we goalkeeper Pierre Abechebon and the ball was not going that far. But I mean, one of those things. Maybe of football, ma, obi or box, na corner kick, and so player making an attempt, same as who offside position, and we don't interfere play. So I mean, I think that one of those things that was some mere technicalities. It will give Numa a quality arrival. I mean, Barcelona did everything right.
Now they are almost moment so na or head the ball now no so no train na say and so be mu penalty box
but is it useful it's one of
I think now person be dia tum say big team no to me advantage yes any advantage because what I'm saying is there are all decisions be or a bit more calm but whatever happened in the game between Abranta and
Barcelona player and Real Vallecano player in the box was a clear penalty, and player now offensive player also could interfere. It was a clear. So I think that yesterday Barcelona did everything right. I mean, they almost saw a lot of chances, and Real Sunya a lot of games are. I mean, Roger Saxony a bar on the Biola Otimbe CV situation. So I think that whatever going on, no, team, but Barcelona right now with Real Madrid, Omina was same point and same point no menya no a bit my bomb. Let's not forget that this season Barca Abu Madrid 2 times, and knowing for that this season Barcelona games are big games all going on, they've been able to win all these games, and if they are able to secure the needed wins against Team Madrid, Madrid, Atletico Madrid, that means that they are going to win. I mean, the Scudetto. Niema Elkosu in an I mean, Niema Elkosu a bit me at the album. So I think that Barca win a crucial win for them. I think that it was going to help them. At least they're in a comfortable league in the UEFA Champions League, getting the Copa del Rey and all other games are so a bit me abomo.
Right, yeah, Champions League games in the moon. Before I Champions League games in the moon, you ahomane so na yakwa kudin komo. Na ya making sure say you and expert analysis on the Champions League 4 games. So you need to get your predictions a lot better. Senebeya my man for to make this car because important. Before I do round of 16, I was say you to me a disca na bibia to me the ekoye last week you to me my man for first especially Tuesday there and Wednesday for no number train here war from a similar for no e be go mo ho ne ma se enti na ye hwese e betumi make amends na bibia so etumi akoye e wo honom yes enti ye guso a hwese bibia betumi go through a.
Yeah, so listo Champions League games no baby na ebekoso 4 games to go various centers, especially o cheke AC Milan was San Siro omone Feyenoord bebo Sanso dia Atlanta Giwe Stadium omone Club Brugge so bebo Sanso dia Bayern Munich Celtic bebo Benfica and so any team ani Monaco bebo I mean usu bempa yala ahomano so nti yebeba na yene oye multimedia sports journalist ne ye ban football any bibia oye ahomano so ne yene ne ba betwetwe nkomo senior me ma kwa ba MYBET.AFRICA TV and radio
me Joseph Vincent na bibia boko there. Hello Utimenga
Zina Utimenga
yeah,
say you better na ya toto nyamani. So I mean first leg between AC Milan and Feyenoord game no they are Feyenoord echi timane din e the AC Milan e bone kabako AC Milan so entimi antene you more returning aba home ye hwe say nei AC Milan for ebetimi a returning I mean the lose no more e they qualify ko Atlanta Club Brugge game no idea Atlanta e kolusu 2-1 Club Brugge for last minute penalty ele omojemo mtene Atlanta for no any Club Brugge for besan so etimi e dia rentam so Bayern Munich and Celtic I mean the first leg no they are Bayern Munich ekoko win I mean Glasgow abro mo ko win 2-1 niema enso ekoyo mom sanso and they are Benfica any AS Monaco game no Benfica ekoko win 1-0 France Montin so Monaco enya red card and almost entimi anye bibia. So I mean that was niamana ekoso first leg and the second leg never because some of the teams be a lot of injury situations and suspensions no and so betimi akoso e dia ma niamama bom say ne 4 games and because niamia odmo na the UEFA Champions League games no ebesan so e dia to so which is Dortmund, Sporting CP, PSG Brest and they are PSV and Juventus and Real Madrid and Manchester City. That is the big game because so was Stadio Santiago Bernabeu. So say first leg between Dortmund and Sporting CP. Dortmund Rene 3-0 they Niema and so Ekoyeman and they all back to Allianz Arena na also Signal Iduna na Niema so tima bekoye the man PSG and Brest. So PSG Rene 3 goals against Brest. I mean Madika can say Brest in over 30 to 40 years and ya do matimi Rene a game against PSG Sanso and they are PSV Juventus game no Juve Rene 2-1 home, hoping that at least at me take another lead. No more so they are qualified to the next competition, to the next stage of the competition. So and they are Real Madrid any yet Manchester City. They are Real Madrid. So echo 3-2. Where they are Etihad Sports Stadium. Ti minim say ne man be tutum na ye be call dia na yes yaba. Yes, nti that was the game nyame adoma ene ebe koso nti minim say ye be hwe na ya okay. Senior Owusu Bempa Yala, me ma ko about MYBET.AFRICA TV any radio so.
Me Joseph Vincent na bibi aboko there.
Okay, but you share any games never cost no bet me to also wait intake in nyame adoma any games no chana games nana informative for mo share jumadi no.
Me that say I think that you guys are doing a very very good job. Now I like the discussion.
Oh, nyame adoma bi aboko.
Yeah, I like the discussion and I'm happy on the Spanish La Liga and the controversial decision and no. You see, me take a crown on it and say, share the rules of the game. Emrano essay, and yet offense, or in an offside position. And it's a offside position, on committee any offense be next so the moment you interfere in play, and no any money offense ye edit out. Nti eno asa where time go ne buy no the referees on the field edge to muse ball ni go until the video assistant to referee for no review the footages and omo say no as at the time and not pass no ever into the box the guy that was in an offside position happen say or interfere with play and until and omo take offside no edit it's just a simple interpretation of the laws and now among the dynamics of the Spanish La Liga are very very interesting. Interesting to the extent to say Barcelona Real Madrid ball fee and team I friend Atletico Madrid any Barcelona game the Wanda Metropolitano and may fit say in the Spanish La Liga see a ball league in way na yenya 2 or more clubs on the same points not do now a head to head and already determine our Spanish La Liga. So for instance in the league na year born team my friend Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid are both home and away every games are ending in a draw. Atletico Madrid will win against Barcelona Barcelona for home. It is our game never so away Wanda Metropolitano no in terms of the head-to-head dynamics very very important as our game they are also and say Real Madrid ama Barcelona best channel the Santiago Bernabeu. Now Real Madrid will have to come to the home of team I friend Barcelona, which Barcelona at least Maximus say Real Madrid me ensure na so measure mo kwana omo ensure mo dodo omo sure mo say na be if the final determination of the league ever go to the wire where the clubs will be tied on points the head to head no ubetimi edge na ye. So for omo follow the Spanish La Liga the expectations and say the game at the Wanda Metropolitano between Atletico and Barcelona and the game Barcelona for fear. The reason why I'm not able to mention the hope and say determine where that game will be played but home against Real Madrid will be very very crucial in the final dynamics of Nkoma Yebedi and for the Spanish La Liga. But it is very very interesting for the followers of the Spanish La Liga. Now to a Champions League games tonight, and so I go for review about betting. Almost say they are quite scared of the AC Milan final game and attached move because Nancy AC Milan performances are so unpredictable to the extent say games you expect them to win winning games you expect them to score goals share goals. Now and Katima Rafael Leao, Christian Pulisic, Santiago Jimenez, João Felix as number 10. Oko 51 or for Fona or Riders there. And this attacking machine should be able to give you goals. Even if they are making changes, we play Mr. Samuel Crazy, we play Mr. Tammy Abraham, and Momodu games. These are players that are able to impact in games in terms of goal scoring. Even Omolato defenders in today, Kawaka, NTO, and Andes Krano are very, very attacking fullbacks. On any good day, they should give AC Milan the number of goals also. We now we've watched them many times, especially this season on football games. The goals you expect them to score, they are not able to score, and very, very disappointing. Omuko Lucy 1-0. My team come up from Omu players, from Omu chief advisor, Mr. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Omuka said today they will have to depend on San Siro as iconic as in the context of the Champions League. And Omu home fans, the kind of atmosphere Omu created to push the players to do it against him and friend Feyenoord. Metiasia when they are very, very optimistic because Feyenoord and so that any history can see the Champions League in him. And on a night like that, where you need character, any pedigree to sell you through, no, a similar for the say or what it takes, say or more able to me ISL against them. On the face of it, I think say the way I gave the say that because AC Milan will need to score in the game to make sure say on major qualification, they will try as much as possible to score. But the caveat here, they say, so the Dutch teams now, they are not programmed to defend very, very well. And if you want to score against them at all costs, yes, they will give you that room for you to have one or two opportunities. And have more glaring goal scoring opportunities over to me at their show. But what they also have as an advantage in this game, and they say, once you are set up to attack them, to score against them, and also who say they are very, very good when it comes to attacking spaces behind you. And then Obi Okapu was San Siro Biana and also TV Biano. Would expect say AC Milan because they will have to score in the tie or they are out, will want to attack from the first minute, and get the goals, But they should be very, very careful. The spaces are only behind because the Dutch team, especially Feyenoord, are very, very good in attacking those spaces and only team attack you. Yes, it will be very, very cagey game, but there is one avenue for betting. That was our game with him. And that is the under goals, But who say a lot of the betting companies and say, MYBET.AFRICA. Who say in terms of us, even under 2.5, under 3.5, under 4.5, it's still an appreciable odds you can take it because Omojiri said there will be a lot of goals in this game. But so I follow AC Milan very, very well. They are able to play, but goal scoring not have been a problem. A lot of the time, even when they create the chances, they are not able to convert them. Say they will say also convert you. Now here can go scoring as a media. When we say NJ Bia and AC Milan to Alvaro Morata, Emma the Corteki, then they almost too many now. They went to Feyenoord and brought in Santiago Jimenez from Feyenoord, so only do more attack, And check and they have to meet or call Holland no when Timmy and Shego. They are expecting say so bet me lead team not only Feyenoord team ni ye any more defenders to punish them and give them qualification. It will be the striker or motor every Feyenoord. So the dynamics are very, very interesting. But if you ask me, the AC Milan that I know, anyhow disappointing on my any the way even the betting companies in AGD said there will be a lot of goals in this game. I think that is where betters, Nana Sapantas, must look out for. I think under 4.5 in that game will be very, very good. A bet say Obia able to RSK not wafa. Game never comes to Obega no make Atlanta against Club Brugge. Look, say Atlanta fan. Over the time now, we give penalty with our team. Any the circumstances somebody give penalty now, you'll be very, 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 very pained. Say a case penalty in the ATR. Besides that, the game had been very, very good. Juglia getting in the box and getting the first goal for team and for the Club Brugge. I love Juglia because he's a La Masia boy and Obo Barcelona Kranti in what Obetini iron the movement in the box, in and around the box. Very, very worrisome striker. And on your first goal, no Edema Club Brugge. Then Obia himself Atlanta team now like Piero Gasparini. They are very, very attacking and they got the equalizer. name of no send America can late penalty amomo entini enya results and free Belgium aba. Now and then you resonate AC Milan for air special atmosphere or San Siro no. San Atlanta air special fans and say Abegamo they will create the necessary atmosphere say they push your players no to get the job done. One problem with Atlanta team is say they don't have Ademola Lookman who have been one of the major threats say about more attacking lines now. But they will be depending on former club Brugge, a player like Catalea with leading the front line. No? To make sure say they will overturn some results. No. One thing I've known about Club Brugge and say they are a very, very good team. You underrate them at your own peril. They know how to attack, they know how to create chances. Atlanta Iron Aggie said they will open up and from the blast of the vessel attack team in front of Club Brugge. No. I think say it will be a very, very decent game for you to go over 1.5 hour. Atlanta will want to score more than one to put the game to bed. And Club Brugge are trying consistently say in a game that is very, very open attacking wise, no, they also have what it takes to also score 1 or 2 goals. Into Atlanta against Club Brugge, I think say I will go for an over 1.5 game in that game. No. The
Okay.
next game, which is Bayern Munich against Celtic, no, look, me who say English media, no, because of course Celtic is coming from Scotland, no. I trying to put some premium. Me say there is something left in the game. But in reality, I don't think Celtic are good enough to go all the way to Allianz Arena to cause any havoc to team and friend the Bayern. Many of you say this Bayern team and Vincent company is not as ruthless as Yahoo in the past. Even though they have the players, but there's something missing in the way you need Bayern and can game. We say 5-0, 6-0, 5-1. But and the company they are not really ruthless and you know under Pep and the Jock Hanks and the Julian Nagelsmann and the Thomas Tuchel any other coaches no. But I think say no matter what no, Bayern are good enough and then they will feel our the Allianz Arena to beat team your friend in Celtic. Now before discussing say say there's an injury to Harry Kane and whether he will lead the lines and build Eddie Abase checks, you know, and you know they live with them in Germany. And Build is very, very trusted when they give you a viable 11 on team and friend Bayern. They are saying Harry Kane is going to lead the lines with Musiala, Leroy signing, Olise, then Goretzka, and Joshua Kimmich in the middle of the pack. Kim, and Upamecano with Conor Lemma and Rafael Guerrero on the left-hand side with Manonia and Apollo. That first 11 should be good enough to get a win at the Allianz Arena against Tima, your friend of Celtic. Then to the last game of the day, which for me, quite tricky kakra. Quite tricky kakra. Look, Benfica has been very good this season in the Champions League, even in games that they lost. For instance, against Barcelona. Also, how they ended up losing that game. Obemsa will say, how did they end up losing that game? Of course, for me, it was because Barcelona turned the game around and they were very, very good. No, and then winning. Aside that, they've gone to places like Turin. I could say Juventus by 2-0. They went all the way to France. I could say Benfica by 1-0. I'm a Benfica team is solid. Aside even the Champions League, in domestic games, you know, Benfica ever form I think says you're Panther now the more two almost so in a game to say that now. Makes me know by arguing say you will believe in them. One problem with Benfica and Di Maria and available for the game because the more answer that and I think that Di Maria and Pono have not been a permanent feature in the first 11, you know, so they will have to deal with him with problem is more scoring goals for fun. No, at home on Betimi Aye Edumano. Monaco is missing their captain in Zakaria, and for me, on the almost have cool transitions, you know, and without him. I think say Emma Monaco team. I'm not saying say they don't have a chance. They are very, very strong side. They can score goals at any point in time, but they flatter to receive in very, very good games. Or especially on MYBET.AFRICA. It's a close game for even the betting companies in the way they place the odds. But I think say a double chance Benfica is very, very good for Omo Ekusikefie. Now Omodi Omusika Eko to Sabet. So a double chance Benfica, under 4.5 in the game against AC Milan Feyenoord, a win for team and friend Bayern, and the other game, for me, over 1.5 in Atlanta against Tima, your friend Club Brugge for and the Champions League games, will be my prediction for the four games.
Ayala, you share other options in these games on my especially corners and players to score because my mom will bet on my bet and be now pay corners and over player to score. And you check it that market and so now how I bet you call all these games on my bonnet.
Good. So open your anytime goal scorer in the game between AC Milan and Feyenoord now. Sometimes football gives you an interesting story, and those storylines, appear in games like this. For instance, medical culture said AC Milan akwakoto Santiago Jimenez from Feyenoord. Oko Holland no went in yankwankoshe. Sene AC Milan ebe yi team e the Feyenoord the framework. I think if AC Milan should open the goal scoring and be scoring goals, Santiago Jimenez will be one of those players now. Or are likely to score. So if you are reviewing the game tomorrow, we will say AC Milan went to Feyenoord, bought Santiago Jimenez, and when they needed to kick them out, that same player and I was pushing the whole team out. And for me, anytime goal scorer in that game between AC Milan and the Feyenoord will go to Abrantia, your friend Santiago Jimenez. Now Celtic say they think they can do something against him and friend the Bayern. What then will mean and say at a point in time they will have to throw caution to the air and abandon Rodgers and attack team your friend the Bayern Munich. Now look, if you attack team like Bayern, you know say omu weapon will be those two players now. Omu wings Michael Olise and then Leroy Sané. Until those two players are very likely say as Celtic ever compare the game, they will use their kind of expansive football in Germany, ETS Omachi was our wings and those will cause havoc for team your friend Celtic, especially around here. Your friend Michael Olise, he seemed to have found his scoring boot. Look at the wonderful goal I'm saying. Editia team your friend Celtic was Scotland last week. And for me, anytime goal scorer for the Bayern Munich Celtic game, I will go for Abrantia friend Michael Olise and probably Harry Kane because him the presence in the box against English sides, Mr. Celtic. Don't forget, Tamano Musia in the Premier League, for Tottenham and for Kasper Schmeichel, team friend Leicester City. He used to score him back the goalkeeper and Okonya go back to Croatia and Scotland. So Harry Kane and is Michael when it comes to say so Harry Kane Olise for the Bayern Celtic game, of course, and then Benfica bar, not all fear, Napo fans said they will score one or two. Of course, then their striker problem will come into your head as the person who will get the goals. He has shown consistently this season the Champions League say open goal scorer. Now Benfica involved or no ultimate ASI and they must also be anytime goal scorer for Benfica Monaco. I think it goes for the Benfica striker. The other game, which one? The Atlanta Club Brugge game, Retegi at home has some level of confidence or Emma Atlanta, especially in front of the Bergamo fans. And I think in that game too, I'll go for Retegi. Say the Atlanta for Ebeshe Goa, Retegi will score. For the corners, also the way are two teams in this game now. I think your bet must go for those teams now able fear now or more the other side and also or more the losing side of the aggregate. So for instance, AC Milan will be attacking, Atlanta will be attacking. So those the aggregate scoreline, they will do more of the attacking. And as the opposition will want to also soak the pressure and hit them on the counter. Sometimes that pressure comes with the safety first and putting the ball to corners. And so we have any prediction on corners. I think AC Milan against Feyenoord and Atlanta against team the Club Brugge. Those two games must give you a fair idea of number of corners a bit in our game because of the situation games it won't visit.
Nyame adomochina games no Dortmund Sporting CP, PSG Brest, PSV Juventus, any the big game because of Santiago Bernabeu, Real Madrid, any Manchester City.
Let's take it one after the other. I think that per some of the results in the first leg, no, some of the games seems dead in the second round. For instance, Sporting Club de Portugal against Dortmund. So Portugal, not Dortmund, but three. It will take miracle for the Sporting Club de Portugal team to beat Tima. Yeah, friend of Dortmund or Germany. So we can say, hey, Ayala now, what had Dortmund on form when it comes to domestic football. But they've also shown say on form in domestic football doesn't really translate into Europe. Now, what I can say and say in that game, for Sporting Club de Portugal to go to Signal Iduna and know say almost 3 goals also and sign us on me any form of hope. So make me a qualifier or no mean say they will have to go attacking Dortmund. And if you attack Dortmund, you know say with Gettins, with Karim Adeyemi, with the former Segu Gorasi, and then Julian Brandt no. So why you say to come and attack them? They have what it takes to also score against you. So I think that in the first leg, you consider that you acquire with goals in that game, we will go for goals again. That was our game in Pepe and over 1.5 over 2.5 in Dortmund against Tima. Your friend of Sporting Club de Portugal, for me, will be my prediction. That was our game. Which other game? Juventus. I think Juventus, yes. Juventus are quite away. Juve this season, they've not really showed much when it comes to the Champions League. They've not shown much. And I'm quite old. I'm for Juventus game into now. Remember the OBI air once and what is Real Madrid against Manchester City. Look, Real Madrid performance of modernity in the Spanish La Liga game or 1-1 against Osasuna. Don't put a lot of premium on that game and say because City as a Newcastle 4, Real Madrid about draw our Pamplona against Osasuna and City are coming to run route against Real Madrid or Santiago Bernabeu derby. It is a game. Real Madrid knows what they have to do to get the results. One thing I love about Carlo Ancelotti and any experience in the Champions League, and he has always maintained, look, over 2 ties, Champions League anymore. You must know what to do to win the tie and not to win the game. And say Okuta an advantage over the first leg. They over fear Baba and say over box our league no by. By the time you have second leg, we was Santiago Bernabeu on the aggregate score. You have a Real Madrid qualify ahead of Tima, your friend Manchester City. It's as simple as that. Now you see, Mididis game now City boy against Newcastle. It was more of a more disappointing performance from Newcastle than City being flamboyant. And I was very disappointed in the how and in the mountain the way almost see as a kind of a Real Madrid will not give that weak opposition to Team FN City. That was Santiago Bernabeu, and we all know it. They love the Champions League. They have the attitude on the Champions League night. They are playing at home in front of almost supporters. Now, the other game we're prediction is simple, and it's City will have to come into the game having to attack Real Madrid if they want to qualify. Real Madrid will have to gauge City at their weakest point, which is they attacking Real Madrid and they allowing Real Madrid to get quick transitions against them. So player B said Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius, Rodrigo the goals. These are players so move on against any team. The situation of the game equally for team to attack them. Then you should know that the simplest instruction, even though Onya Ancelotti, you will give these players and say, look, these guys want to come and score. And if they want to come and score, we must hit them on the counter ama omani so ebru omo so at the weakest point of their lives when they think say they are on the attack. That is why you see about the omo yes we bet ma show omo and City will be coming into the game looking for an early goal to settle their nerves. That time now omo pesa goal now. That time now I'm so meant to say we should make sure we hit them back and score goals. So we are going to see goals again. That is my prediction. We are going to see goals again in the second leg, and the goals, ever because of the situation game, a woman. So City will be trying to make sure say Omeshe go. Real Madrid any goal they said that, and on the ninth Champions League night at the Bernabeu, you expect them say they will score. So an over 1.5 over 2.5 game in the Real Madrid against team my friend Manchester City. Vincent, what are the other games? Quickly now you wrap up with the Champions League
and PSG Brest. Yes, that are the other two games now. Sporting CP, Brest, and PSG. They are Parc des Princes, and I think PSV so. There Philip Stadium omone Juventus Nebebo. So these are the games Nyame Adma Ochina and also a bit makoso. Yes, so I think say Benyano na a complete game. So I mean he mentioned about Nyame Adma in the games no about Champions League games. So so the other games no Dortmund and Sporting CP then PSG Brest.
Mention the Dortmund Sporting CP, so of course the PSG Brest is a dead match. Over they met them right and son of mobile first leg of the Champions League, almost share almost and they follow it up with the Champions League going to beat them there. I think the Paris Saint-Germain will win against Brest the Parc des Princes game. The other game, I think the Juventus game. Juventus and which team now able to then quickly let me wrap up with my prediction. Juventus are playing away.
Yes, Juventus are away.
Against which club?
PSV.
Good. Now, when you said PSV, one of those clubs I follow them because of ESPN, Extra Mopa in the Eredivisie. They are a team that are able to score. They love scoring goals. Now, Thiago Motta has set up the Juventus team to also know how to attack. So when I say I don't hear Inter Milan here, you could clearly see that this is a team that love to attack, and so many opportunities they are able to bury it. Me as well say conform be expect say even Obi Colomwani will hit the ground running for Juventus when he declared a surplus requirement of Paris Saint-Germain. But he seemed to have found his formula with Conceição, with Yildiz very, very quickly and was starting extra goals, at the Amatima, your friend Juventus. PSV, will fear Holland, a very, very troublesome side. And then Yam said they even came all the way to Turin and managed a draw and a Omu Eddie Ekofi. I think it's a serious game news ACTN. I will predict an over 1.5 in that game simply because PSV at home will score. PSV at home with Bakayoko Mone, Sabari, they know how to attack you and score with Luke de Jong, of course, as a lanky striker. They are all trying to say crosses in the back. Now I get here at the end of it. PSV will score. Now saying Juventus now, Thiago Motta seems to have gotten the hands on, are doing very, very well. And to win in the Serie A against Inter Milan, extra the kind of stage or project, Eddie Drew. And among some level of respect for team your friend Juventus. And two teams are, for me, in the eyes of Venetian football, me who almost say they have what it takes to score, especially with the first leg being tied. Now Obia and I say a win in that game, a more qualification. It will be very, very open, very nice game to watch. And I think say it will be a game to predict who will win it is very, very difficult. But to say at least 2 goals, members are game no more. Vincent, I agree with Obia OS as same analysis. Send me a win for PSG. An over 1.5 game in the Madrid Manchester City game, and over 1.5 game again in the PSV against Tima Yefeno Juventus. Then in the last game, I think again an over 1.5 game in Dortmund against Tima Yefeno Sporting Club de Portugal. Goals Ebeba or China because of the way our ties ACT and for me a very, very comfortable win for Paris Saint-Germain against Club de Portugal. So this will be my takes on the Champions League for any Ochina game.
Okay. But before we made Jamal Kokra, and I think that last week Wednesday games ningina over 2.5. Is it likely that Nyame Ochina games ningina over 2.5? Likely say bebo sa 4 games no.
It's okay if you use the word likely, yes. Likely, yes. For instance, Dortmund Sporting Club de Portugal, the goals will flow. Real Madrid, Manchester City, the goals will flow. Paris Saint-Germain, Brest, yes. Very, very likely say we will get that kind of scoreline. The only one I'm quite skeptical is PSG Juventus. I think say there's over 1.5. The risk, it was our game, ever conform in terms of your bets, any goes now. But the rest, likely say you will get the same template apart from the PSV Juventus game. And I'm saying that because of the way sometimes the Italian clubs will want to, in a tie like this, will want to get a goal and defend with almost history of Catanaccio, and get the tie and get the qualification. That is my only worry about that game. How the Juventus will want to revisit their tradition of being an Italian team. We can go put one at the back of the net and defend Pompey and get the game over the line and get the qualification. Apart from that game, so when the history, any team is now these are teams that love to attack and score goals. And I think the goals will flow. So say they flow in the last 2 Tuesdays.
All right. Okay. Sina Ayala, you better say contribution on the abasho so and area you better pa yes.
Right. Tinti egusua etin konya kokko so hwe se kwan bia so we die nyina ne se obi diska. Die nyina ye nya prayer ye kwa penda ba. Kon tinti nyina ne se ye pese ofa aye MYBET.AFRICA sika be ni nyina. Catch us and no papa bi me was one man or buy us list to me dinkrofo bi 2 billion omo fa misika ma me ayasam na me si bo na me police ni o se me ba na kama kama na se nkrofo na odi omo chi no omo ni office organ ha o omo ni office organ ha it MYBET de nga no minim office na wa ha ya nga na nke ye ko na nke akwa jiska ma ndi no ye tufu se bomo de a na register on MYBET.AFRICA e be make sure say all the predictions no ye be ho flyers o say 36 man ho ye hapa no ye ne se na be ya ye be make sure say amanfo be diska maka chos asaka no odi kan twa ho matches no o di gusu pa ite be du say ba be twa no na ye di ne dada nti aska no a ye be du o MYBET wo no MYBET for na jiwasaka o da nti bomo de am na register maka chos registration no mimi list o ametie yi ye won for 3 billion ai wo wiasima ye fro bia list o ti se mpese me de ne unique na me de 30-40 account ti ai list o 30-40 na me de ashem me boshemu a na ye se ya mama ya send me code and ma verify 3 steps pe me who registration a very simple to say MYBET.AFRICA registration se o pese unya link na bo mo de a ne ko Telegram account wo oko Telegram account wo na ubehu se link no ya pin sa miaso a no mo de na register quick na fi ye the code ni nyina be go from Ayala de Vincent de ne de beba me de beba sa so na Benedict de ne de beba na Saka so de bi beba ba me se da bi Asaka de ne de ye behwem ba ye ntwa because Saka ono obetima Madrid ne Barca de obetima ko over 7.5 goals over 7.5 goals man oh you brutal ono otimi twa draw 6 teams draw ne amane 2000 odds no twa no 2 cities ohia no mama 48 Ghana amekwa bet ni bo no yi na bet na bo Asaka oh you brutal enti ono ne bet de ono be ma ba ye ntwa aha sa na tie e ho no nti bo won na join yen e wo TikTok yes TikTok Sports Arena or TikTok Sports Arena GH or TikTok na fi ye videos ni nya ye betwa ne kakra na de nyina ego no ho de ekọ ene de ba busa for ye nhwemu kakra say madene de atin say the analysis ni nyina ba jan finding another way in case see we trust wa ha yes ye be ye nhwe na fi ye mfa 4 matches no ye nwura na fi ye nhwe.
Okay, listo. And the Champions League course you say the Champions League course dia e had ye Mao Champions League ni senior betimi edi ni ye. And a game between AC Milan and Feyenoord. One game I think last week me can say Feyenoord form on one. Any AC Milan and so senior munya chances of missing no. I wasn't seeing Feyenoord losing. And that game no be a very difficult game my Feyenoord, especially going to Italy. Any him say San Siro will play a big factor in this game. But Nini na bejina how AC Milan betima convert to my chances. Yehu Rafael Leao, Christian Pulisic, Joao Felix, Santiago, they are not being clinical up front. So today, no one thing about game night difficult. I'm a fan. No, say AC Milan in the first half, 80 minutes one goal will make the game very difficult because the Honor fans no ebe show their support for AC Milan to go and qualify. But the game no in the first half, fan to me hold the AC Milan in the first half. My game near draw. I'm seeing Feyenoord qualifying ahead of AC Milan because in the second half we'll see a different ball game. A honor pressure, that consists also. So only a lot of changes to fit into the game or corner. That is where Feyenoord will take the advantage. But say if AC Milan don't get a chance to score in the first half, Feyenoord will qualify.
How do you see it? Because in this case, people are watching you. They want to know if you go look through the crystal ball. Do you think that the first half will be scrappy? The first half will be cagey, and for that matter, because if the first half, no. Feyenoord your match is okay. You babe kan ye to atwom.
Yes.
Near to keep pressure. This is any share first goal. You kan ye to twom ya. You so keep pressure no. If that is the intention, is okay. The first half you be making sure say we will not allow AC Milan any chance on be where. It means that be influence will be okay near. Mamenko corners. Okay. In the first half, maybe over 3.5 corners in the first half.
Yes. Because
of how I bet ebe and now say be Feyenoord from there was okay. In the first half, let's open up. Let's try to play and see say you can bit match your first goal. Right? Then in the second half, but so looking through the crystal ball, how do you see it?
Yeah, na me ba hokra. In this game, the most likeliest option will be a bit makwa corners because AC Milan beba with more attack. But in him say AC Milan defensively no more solid. But he will go and consider against Feyenoord. Mignon is one of the best goalkeeper, but the easiest goal is in the channel. What I'm seeing is a Feyenoord will come into this game to secure the first half. So make sure it's the first half. No, AC Milan if I go into a Atenim. And you in the game I shared that is last week Wednesday performance of Feyenoord it me hold AC Milan to from the 3rd minute omushe go no to the 90th minute at AC Milan 90 man share. So Feyenoord will go into this game. We share this game in the first leg and they did the lowest expected goal tally ever. That is 1.06. But in this game there will be at least 2 goals in this game. But it will depend on the team obedi can share. So will be 1.5 likely say 1.5 bebo. But I'm seeing Feyenoord at least getting a goal. And say if I'm to go for the tough decision Feyenoord will qualify ahead of AC Milan in this game. I mean who say AC Milan will fumble and do whatever they have to do, but they wouldn't be able to destroy this Feyenoord team going into this game. If Atlanta any club brochure in the first leg, no, it was a controversial penalty and MR results into me bad that is 2-1 and a big revenge Atlanta game way one thing even in the Serie A game on board, you know, their focus was on against Club Brugge. They need to get this win. First half 0.5 option ameko. because Atlanta will score the first goal in the first half to try and send the game into the second half where they will need the Italian fans to get the game winning. In the Champions League, say Italian teams they are more confident playing at home than away. And nothing as away, they are looking for a draw or a 1-goal victory to get a point. But some they know the Italian fans, how they come into games and support them. And then Atlanta Benya a stronger team ahead of team my friend Club Brugge. Club Brugge is the one thing they say game in his last 6 games our bono. Emu 5. Emu bio go. So and then 1.5 likely say beat me abo. But I'm seeing Atlanta scoring the first goal. In the first half, 0.5 goal happening in the first half is likely to also idea beat me home. I think it will be a nice game, a very exciting game. It will be a game Atlanta will go into this game with like a revenge game because they conceding that penalty in the last minute. They will go in all guns blazing and would like to destroy Team FN Club Brugge, which I think Atlanta would win this game. Atlanta will qualify ahead of Club Brugge because even though say Club Brugge they are coming into this game with a 2-1 win, but still Atlanta are the strong favorite to go in. Bayern Munich and Celtic encore Germany encore share German club there in any European competition, and I don't think today would be a day a Celtic beat me and also beat me Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich in the first league were not that solid. Those and a 2-1 win, which away 2-1 a very comfortable victory for any team going away. But today we are going to see a lot of goals. Bayern Munich game against Bayern Leverkusen playing a 0-0, a surprise to Obia. So I think there are goals going to flow today. Internet Hurricane to score likely say a ball. So be a player assister. Olise is also a player. I'm tipping him to assist in this game. Bayern Munich basically my margin said they will score a lot of goals. So today Bayern Munich win over 2.5. My bet after bet likely say a bit me about Benfica any Monaco game. Before their first round, we can say Benfica had to learn a lot of things in the game against Monaco because in the group phase, Monaco 3-2, how they suffered to come to win that game. So you know, in the first round of this playoff, Monaco 1-0, meaning that the coach learned a lot from the group phase. This will be a very similar game. I think Benfica will go into this game not to lose. It will be the easiest option. Benfica to qualify. Likely say beat me about. But one fun fact I'm the Bema in says Monaco team your away or concede 2 or more goals. TNN will be qua. So open safest option at 1.5 likely 7 open option a bit mama will scout MYBET.AFRICA. Benfica win or draw and Benfica to score 2 goals because Monaco go away in his last 6 games were away Biana and you concede 2 or more goals. In TNN and once 1.5 bit mabo. You 1.5 in the first round, which was normal because it was something everybody was looking at. But in this game, 1.5 bit mabo. Benfica bit machine 2 goals. Corners in the other back will bit miabo. In all the Champions League games this season, AC Milan game is likely the corners make control. At where Atlanta game is likely the corners make control. Bayern Munich game known to the same thing. Benfica and Monaco game on the corners make control. It will be back. Corners over 8.5 in all these 4 games. Even more high odds for MYBET.AFRICA will beat me a fiscal. So today we'll see an exciting Champions League game. We'll see. I'm not seeing any surprise, but the only surprise I'm thinking of seeing is AC Milan may not qualify for the next round of the Champions League.
Okay. Yeah, Listo, quickly. Milan it's a game I bet and looking at game never cost because Milan Ekukulusu last week I go Pachago share early stages in the game and still now Milan tries to beat my bad they couldn't win, but then coming back to San Siro, I think that it beats me Abwa Milan. In fact, Milan home record this season and Shadan good, especially the last 10 home games. They've won 5 and I'm also about draw 2. It's going to be a game. The same applies to the finals. So now away games are the last 10 away games are on also about on the road. We're in 4 then we're also for about draw 2. So this game could go sideways if Milan for attacker. Abrantani and the Pachao and the other players in a bit now. But I mean the difficult thing for a defender and say a moment striker Ayasi Epra sounds when I don't come to Quentin Timber and so something that it might affect them today. But then today I think that Milan team might be able to go guns blazing, especially there are other options. a bit more show game we have boy, especially over 2.5 bookings. Yeah, they are a bit more call. And on the other hand, a goals any both team to score. Go check it out. AC Milan, last 10 home games are a move 5 both teams to score and sounds about and over 2.5 abo in 3 of their previous home games on Sanso and at their friend also last away games on about 10 a move 5 both teams to score, but that is teams are almost share a lot of goals and a move 10 away games on about a move 7 over 2.5 goals, and so it's about so in the game it's a game we might see a lot of goals and we might see both teams so and so I see Milan winning over 1.5 for 2.5 goals and over 8.5 corners in that game. Another game at least to measure Atlanta and the club which last minute penalty Atlanta would have them come for revenge. Another key stat between these games is Atlanta for at least to almost 2 or more goals in almost last 13 games of the past 20 games on my board. Another one, so they said in the last 10 away games on my board, especially for Club Bridge, there's been over 2.5 goals in almost last 7 out of 10 away games at Club Bridge for also Abo, and Club Bridge for the list too, they've scored 2 or more goals in 17 of their last 26 games on my board in the both the Belgium League and the Champions League, and a Club which was among last 10 away games list of Nina concede 2 or more goals in move 5. So it tells you that if they meet a team they are free scoring side they find it very difficult to keep a clean sheet, and even if someone to keep a clean sheet, it means that they are conceding a lot of goals. It was a game. So in that game I see Atlanta winning, especially both teams to score highly possible in this game. I think that it's going to be an interesting game. So I'm going in for Atlanta win over 2.5 goals and over 7.5 corners in that game. Another game at least to make sure Bayern Munich Celtic the lead against Celtic or Glasgow, and it was a game people were expecting that at least Nanka beat me a lot of goals, but then this game might be able to produce that goals now, especially players to score any sign of money. Hurricane, he has scored 7 goals in the last 10 games for Bayern Munich, and no Celtic, so Brentford and Dyson Maida, and so Ashe, there are 6 goals in the last 10 games. So these are 2 players I feel like if there's any potential scorers for these 2 teams it might be these 2 teams. Aside from Hurricane, you might get Brentford and the Jamal Musiala and then Michael Olisema met me amount that numbers no in terms of corners between Bayern Munich and Celtic used to Bayern Munich averagely in the last 20 games or averages 7.2 games in the last 20 games of our ball, and Bayern Munich in the last 10 home games of Boyano, they've been awarded over averagely 10.7 corners, which means if game be a buyer able who know your corners crown when your crown put 10 corners million or also in between Celtic on the other hand list to both teams to score on away games about 5 times in the last 10 games, both teams to score airball and over 2.5 goals in the last 10 games, about in 8 games out of the last 10 away games are also 8 me abo. So I think that this game a game potentially a bit may produce over 2.5 goals in this game. Looking at the records, Celtic away games they were goals in flow, and Bayern Munich home game they were goals in flow. But unfortunately, this weekend, comment to me and Shego, and it tells you that my pile goes now about the midweek against Celtic. So I see Bayern Munich winning this game over 2.5 goals, highly possible, over 8.5 corners, and both to score. And so a bit me about in this Bayern Munich and the Celtic game. The last game, Benfica Monaco, is a game of Benfica in the north. France after say Monaco red card. It's going to be an interesting game, but this game it might be very tricky. I see Benfica maybe getting a double chance in this game, but both teams to score highly possible and over 2.5 goals. So you're checking some key stats in this game. Checking team and Eddie Benfica, both teams to score in the last 10 games above 5 times, over 2.5 goals in the last 10 home games about 2 times. If they are playing with a team also a free scoring side checking the corners aspect of the game and Benfica 4 and I said Monaco 4 averagely among last 10 away games over 9.5 corners in last 10 away games on the ball. And Benfica for the list, they have won 5 consecutive matches. They're on the good form. Benfica for they've scored 2 or more goals in 13 of their last league games on the ball. And one shows I'm going to make it 10 clean sheets out of 22 games. So Monaco on the other hand, so I consider 2 or more goals in their last 10 away games on the ball. So definitely Monaco conceding a highly possible. So home team to score. Any almost a share going down, a list or a highly set a bit more any game, especially corners for Eddie Benfica. The last 10 home games list or averagely Benfica in your corners crumple there. The 9 corners video put in average in the last 10 home games are also about. So in this game, I'm going for a double chance for Benfica over 2.5 goals, both teams to score any over 8.5 corners in that game list or.
All right. Muma pick options and nothing. Yeah.
Okay, it's listo and then Champions League games no options kakaya or enuni. Bayern Munich any Celtic game no Bayern Munich straight win and over 2.5 for Sa game. Atlanta any Club Brugge game no Atlanta win or draw and 1.5 and so we Benfica any AS Monaco game no Benfica win or draw 1.5 and so and AC Milan final game on Bebo and over 1.5 at that game. We have 4 odds in the Champions League. Code YQKY.
Okay, right.
Yes, daily shots for the UEFA Champions League, and then all the 4 games was selected, and I think the first game, Atlanta game, Atlanta win. And over 1.5 Atlanta win and over 1.5 Sanso and AC Milan final game no AC Milan win and over 1.5 goals in that game. Bayern Munich Celtic Bayern Munich win and over 1.5 goals in that game. And Benfica AS Monaco double chance for Benfica. Makes sense to be Atlanta win and over 1.5 AC Milan win and over 1.5 Bayern Munich win and over 1.5 and Benfica AS Monaco game double chance for Benfica. The code for my bets WQKY.
Right, okay. So AC Milan win, Atlanta win. Yeah, AC Milan win, Atlanta win, Bayern Munich to score 2, Benfica to score 2. AC Milan win, Atlanta win, Bayern Munich to score 2, Atalanta to score 2. Yes, it's an options. It's a commentary, live commentary. It was a to me. You call Bobo and Fi, and you raise so you did not be a to me. A quay or honor. Yes, I was saying, yes, videos and artworks and any idea. Send a bear for Bohus and Braba. Within the list to what this I think as I saw and I would say a Benedict Ayala Otenika from us. I may have ma or Tina Yabasaba. Na yake chini na yatumi edi abrem. Within the list to Yakram.